Hey everybody, this is Gary, otherwise known as Foley B Max, otherwise known as Boss Man, otherwise known as whatever else you want to know me as. This is my review of episode 6 of season 2 of Stargirl. So let's start with, shall we? So last week was a little bit of a gadget show. So it's a little bit of a that little bit of Games of Thrones where it was basically entire fucking season of them but it was basically an episode that's the reason I didn't do last week's. But this week's, bloody hell, they've ratcheted it up to gear. So first of all we see Yolanda serving at the restaurant, and it turns out Artemis is there, and she threatens her and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, awesome, we're going to get a fight, and we did. Um, but throughout the show, we see Cindy, talking to the Black Diamond, talking to Eclipso, and they're looking at the thing, and then they finally see because there's that room in the last scene, which is very like Nightmare on Elm Street. Go and watch that episode for that. There's one where has Cindy Berman with the rings, which he wanted them to fight, with the diamond, and they, they're like, oh no, she's got it and stuff like that, and like it's just finally like dawning them, how bad of trouble they're in, and like they go over and say like, Cindy Berman's got it. It's like, oh no, she's building Eclipse. So it's like literally you can hear the pain because it's like I think that Cindy has gotten herself way overhead, and she obviously has with Eclipso. So we finally see the the diamond. He's a diamond. She says, right, we're going to attack them, blah blah blah, and like, we see, we see Artemis suiting up. We see, Isaac using like a metal violin and stuff like that, and we see, and then we see Cindy go to go to the son's house. I'd like they'll kidnap him and use him bait. It's like, oh my god. So this is like all building up to a crescendo now. Like I'm trying to figure it out, and they go to Barbara, and like Barbara, and then like the IC finally attacks, and they hit Luce Wilson's character, and he goes down as like. Pat, sorry, and they hit Pat with everything that the kitchen sink, and they destroy Stripe. It's like, oh my god! It's like, and he's in hospital now. And like she phones up the numbers, and then the shade comes out and says, "What do you want?" She says, "What?" It says, Cindy Berman says, "I don't care about your teenage dramas." It says she has a stone. And first he says that he says, right. It says, "I'll be watching," and he just disappears. It's like this guy is legitimately very scary, but trust me, he's not as scary as Eclipso. Anyway, so yeah, we finally get a confrontation that we've all been waiting for the new ISA versus the GSA. The GSA kick their asses. Like they smash it around. There's a bit where Owlman throws Wildcat right into the bad guys, and she goes in with her claws. She doesn't kill anybody. She's just like stay down and stuff like that. It's just like we can see that the last fights has refined these guys' prowess and stuff like that. It's just awesome. And then over here, and then all of a sudden you see out of nowhere like darkness coming, and then like the shade appears, with full top hat and glasses, looks very like the Starman comics, and then he comes up and he goes, "Please, I don't care about your teenage dramas. Put the stone in there," and it says, "I'll take over," and you see the red eyes again, and then it's like. And then it throws like whatever dark energy, and it says, and he says at one point, he says, and then all of a sudden like Stargirl charges forward and breaks it, and it just explodes, and then everybody's on the floor, and then we just see there's this quiet, and then there's this bit where Barbara looks on the window, and we see Eclipse, and Best father looks up and it sees the Eclipse, and everyone walks up and they see a figure on the ground, and it's Eclipse. And he turns around and he's like dressed in this awesome get up. I mean, he could look silly, but he doesn't. And he realises that shit goes off, and then Shade attacks him with the phobia, and he just goes, "Your power comes from where I live." Very Dark Knight Returns. Oh, Dark Knight Rises. You're very. Anyway, the Eclipse is gets this like gets this stone and goes. He basically dispatches him very easily, and he throws at Isaac. Shiv goes to attack him. He lets her up. He throws her to the side. I literally absorbs, Isaac's fear. He literally goes, his eyes turn red, and you literally see absorbing like literally like something out of a horror movie. Like, oh my god! And then there's a bit where where Cindy Berman is getting trapped. It's like something like Drag Me to Hell, where she's literally getting pulled over. And Stargirl's trying to save her, and she literally falls into this whatever it is, and then he just disappears, and then it's like, oh my god, like shit has really gone beyond real, and it's just like, was that it? Is that the end? And we think, all right, he's left Blue Valley, but no, because we go to the end of the scene is where we see Eclipse going through that, and he turns into this little boy, the little boy we saw at episode 1. And he starts cackling throughout this, it looks like a set, but it's not a set, it's a real place. But, cackling. And it's very Children of the Corn, very creepy stuff. And he's just, cackling as he's walking down the street. It's just like shit has gone beyond real now. How are they going to deal with this? And that's something that I think is going to be interesting. Anyway, check in for next week, because I'm sure next week will be equally as good. Anyway, see you this is NerdTube with the greatest